Yo, welcome to the Never Fade episode EP10. We're on EP10, baby. First couple episodes, strong alpha calls, new communities, and we've been tracking Yuga announcements as we've been going in to the Dookeydash. This is the trial of Jimmy. It's all kicking off. The game is out. The ape is being spent, and I'm not gonna lie, FaXx, you're about to go broke. You've spent so much ape on this game.
Dude, good. Dude, should I buy some more ape? Should I buy another Power Shark pack? Should I hit it? Should I hit it?
Buy it now. Buy it now.
All right.
Hey, but
we're doing it.
Before you buy that Power Shark, what's this buy buff for 2-8? Is that a typo? I've been so confused with the buff word.
Buff, I guess it's like your armor, you're getting strong. You're getting that game lit up, so you get that bonus of 15%. That's
you bag bias MFer. That's a typo. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, the ape coin's in. We're gonna see how you play. FaXx is in the sewer. We're dropping you in hot, and we're not wasting any time with the alpha. He's avoiding pipes left and right, fading the boards, and most importantly, he's dodging the grails. This guy is running on an ape coin addiction. Yuga Labs, you need to stop him. He's gonna go broke. Honestly, he's bought so many power shards, he can't avoid or aboard another encounter with his wife because she monitors his wallet on Etherscan. He was gonna buy another Yuga asset, but instead he's pissing his money away in the sewer. Let's get back to the game. All right, so he's fading fans left. The pipe's coming up on the left. Pipe, get low. Grab that fragment. Pipe to the left. Pipe over, under, right corner pipe. Those are my favorite pipes to go under. Avoiding the grails, just like FaXx did when he was buying apes back in the day. Avoided all the grails. He bought floor apes and then puked them. That's why he has a Meg.
No, I didn't see it.
What a ride. What a way to start the podcast. You were coming at him live from the sewer. What are you wearing, dude? That is atrocious.
Dude. It's Dookeydash, bro. I thought this is what it is. They sent us the jersey, the team hat. They were like, all right, train your mind, prepare for this competition. And look, dude, I'm here, man. I'm in the zone.
Yuga, you should have never sold those jerseys. They should have been shipped in frames. This MFer went digging through his frame because your game is so addictive. He brought his frame off the wall and cracked his jersey out of the frame because he wanted to embody the sewer. We need to not dress people like this.
They gave us the jersey. They gave us the cap.
If your wife walks in right now, what is she doing? By the way, I mean, we already know.
It's over. If my wife walks in right now, it's over, dude. No questions asked.
That's right. She'll ask you to sign papers and you'll be like, oh, sorry, I don't have my ledger on me.
For the paper, you better sign this shit, you fucking clown.
Yeah, I think so. She's going to rip those bananas right off your chest and she's going to throw them in your mouth. She's going to tell you to taste that potassium.
Goodmonth Dive. How many sewer passes did you claim, bro?
8.
Did you floor them? Because I heard the word on the street was Good was going to floor his passes. I don't know. Was that fun?
No. The word on the street is getting twisted. I said there was somebody on this podcast, not me, who said they were going to be a 10 ETH floor. And I said if they get to 10 ETH, I am putting them all on the floor. There's no doubt about it. Now, we're both wrong because I said 2 ETH max for the tier 4. We're sitting at 6 ETH. It looks like we have pretty good sentiment between the two of us. Averages out. 6 ETH was the call. 6 ETH is where it's at. Yeah, I think about it. I think about it a lot. I think there's a lot of things that are coming out of this with the sewer pass. Big thing I've been doing is tweet at the D-Gods community to get in on the sewer pass because I think this is a great bridge to be able to get into the Yuga community because I think there's going to be a lot of ape to D-God transfers that happen when DGADs get into ETH. I think it's a great opportunity for people to flip their pudgy penguins at 4.4 ETH and come over and get some sewer passes. I think it's a great opportunity for people to drop their cartoon-led bearish projects like the cats and the doodles, flip those things at floor, come over and get in the Yuga community. If you have Pixel Vault and you're down bad, you want to take some harvesting for 23, you come over and you get in the Yuga community. If you want to do anything of any type of project, you want to come over and get in the Yuga community. I honestly think there's one ecosystem to be a part of. That market pump that happens when they drop assets is unreal and it cannot be matched. Get on the boat or get faded. Drown, mother effer.
Yo. No, I like that. I like that take. I mean, you're right. We were far apart on what we thought these sewer passes were going to come in at. And after we talked about it, we stood up that space, we talked about it. My takeaway was it probably was going to come in around 6 ETH, somewhere between our two takes. And that's what we're seeing, you know, and I think the reason that they're holding up, these sewer passes are holding up, is because the market is liking what they see. A lot of people feel like this is fun, this is addictive, it's engaging. You know, it's kind of like the next evolution of this ecosystem. You know, I really like the approach that Yuga took in terms of making like a simple yet exciting and addictive game that like anybody can play. And like I loaded it up on my mobile. It's legit. I don't think it's as good to put up a high score. I think it's easier to put up a high score on a desktop or a laptop. But the gameplay is tight. Like for sure, from a mobile gaming perspective, like this is something that I'm going to be doing, like just in general for fun over the course of the next few weeks. And then like the whole fact of like this leaderboard, that this is a competition, and we know that there's going to be prizes. And we saw some like pretty hot takes yesterday from Yuga in terms of like these mecha dog and mecha monkey. And did you, if hazy-b, did you see that? Good. Did you see that? What do you think about this art that they posted with the mecha dog?
Yeah, it was great. It had leaks in the sketches. It was good. Jimmy's has an army. I think scaling back for people who might just be watching this podcast for the first time. Yuga Labs is the company that runs Bored Ape Yacht Club, the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. They're affiliated with the other side alongside of Animoca. They market leader when it comes to these digital assets being actual financial instruments. They've built a complete market around the people who are interested in holding these assets. And I think it's really important to talk about this for a minute, because up until this point, everybody asked the question of, you know, what happens when the Bored Ape Yacht Club valuation goes down? Like, what happens when they're not as coveted anymore? What happens when they're not as valuable anymore? Well, today we're at a point where they've released a game and it's able to pull professionals, business professionals that have day jobs into gaming for some of the first time. It's also been able to ignite relationships with gamers and have people kind of walk this bridge from, you know, financial asset holders and financial movers to integrate with these gamers to be able to increase and gamify the outcomes of more digital assets. This is a notion that is brand new to this space. Like, we've heard P2E, we've heard play to earn, we've heard that there's digital assets that are going to be used in the gaming world. And when you talk about that to somebody whose day job is at, you know, one of the FANG companies or any tech company or any other type of business where their just world is not in gaming every single day, they fade it. They can't understand it. But this is one of the first use cases that Yuga's been able to bring forward to their community and engage their community in a wholly net new behavior. I'm not a gamer. The last time I played a game was the Mega Mutants and Bake mobile game. Prior to that, the last time I played a game was Madden 02. I don't play games.
Like one of the things that's genius about this strategy is that when we've talked about play to earn and GameFi in the past, like usually we're talking about like a pretty complicated scheme involving the ERC20 token or the native token of that ecosystem in terms of like the transfer or earning of that token. In this case, really you're playing to mint. This is like a play to mint. So I've seen some kind of small examples of this that people put like a little mini game before they're mint, but it's never been like really performance driven. It's never been that your score can lead to a better rarity. And obviously, like tier 4 passes have an advantage. Hazy-b, if you want to like, show the breakdown on the boosts and all of that kind of thing. But we've seen that a tier 1 player can crack up into like the top 50 of the leaderboard. Right now, like in like 30th place, last time I checked, was a tier 1 pass. So that means that this person is going to get a potentially, if they could hold that lead, they could get a top 50 out of this whole collection of whatever is going to mint next. I mean, this is big time opportunity for the come up for somebody that's like willing to gamble on themselves and gamble on the ecosystem. And the downside is limited because it's not like other kind of degen games and gambling games where if you don't win, you lose your money. Either way, you're going to mint. Either way, you're going to be part of this ecosystem. Either way, you're going to get to participate in the moving forward story here, which mostly that's what people want to do anyways. So you throw in this kind of upside. And then let's look at our audience here. Like, yes, it's all kinds of walks of life. However, there is like a pretty good, vibe in the community of people that come from poker, the people that come from DFS, fantasy sports, right? These people are in it for those kind of like degen games. And I'm going to tell you something about this game, man. It is an adrenaline pumping game. Like you definitely getting those dopamine hits off of playing this. And like, I think that this sets up for a whole new paradigm and what it means to be part of this yacht club in terms of this roadmap of mini games that's to follow. Like this one's going to wrap up. There's going to be a mint. There's going to be another mini game, right? Another competition, another whole experience like this, then an evolution of the mint. And so it's like people are going to, so people are going to want to be on this ride and they get to participate and they have the upside to like, truthfully, they could sell these passes, right? Me and hazy-b, our producer, we discussed this like before. There was a lot of ambiguity as to like the communication on whether you can sell the pass or not. And it looks like after they freeze the pass on the 8th of February, there'll be a week where in the secondary market, you can trade these sewer passes with the score that's frozen to them. So that's another big decision point. Let's say that that person with the tier 1 pass does end up in the top 50 or even better, or who knows, right? Now they have to decide, do I want to move forward and mint this, or do I want to sell this? And in the secondary market, we don't really know how to appraise this. I don't know how to tell you like what like a top 10 score is going to be worth, to be honest with you. Like, what do you think? Right off the bat, good, like a key right now in the market. How much do you think someone would pay for the number 1 spot in this game?
So it's important to realize that some of the smartest people in the world play poker. Some of the smartest people in the world play daily fantasy sports. Like some of the smartest people in the world are in this Yuga ecosystem with strategies and capital, and they're ready to deploy. I think we're going to go a bit unhinged on this price point. I think based on the psychological experience that it takes to pack in your metadata into a skills-based mint, there's no chart to value that. There's no chart to understand what a 500,000 point run costs. And where I think value is really going to get off the charts is if this is a self-reveal. If this power source that you mint from the skills-based mint is something you can hold and choose to not reveal, the mystery and the gambling that's going to go on for the opportunity to reveal a rare asset next expansion pack of the Yuga assets is going to go wild. Let me take you back to something real fast. Let me take you back to the other deeds. Remember when the other deeds were being claimed? And you remember when the other deeds ran up to 7 ETH for an unrevealed deed.
Yeah.
At floor.
Yeah.
Meaning the 100,000th serial numbered asset, the arguably furthest asset away from the center.
The most floor other deed.
Without knowing the attributes, right? Because anywhere like the 100,000th could actually be better than the 75,000th, depending on its attributes.
It had a
but
mega coda. Okay.
Right.
Oh,
but at
that's
that
right. Because this is unrevealed. Right.
So at that point in time, the 100,000th serial other deeds would have been considered the most floor asset at that time because no attributes were revealed. But that means that the market was willing to pay 7 ETH. At that time, 7 ETH was roughly 20 Gs. The market was willing to spend 20 Gs on the gamble that there could be something extremely valuable in that asset. Now, that means that someone was willing to spend 20 Gs for a rare asset on 100,000 supply mint. Now, mind you, 30,000 of that 100,000 was given away. 70,000 was purchased. We're sitting in a world right now where there's 30,000 tier passes that are given. The market is already valuing these at, in tier stages from 2 ETH to 3 ETH to 4 ETH to 6 ETH, 6.5 ETH for the chance to play the game. Now, once the scores get packed in these things, okay. Now, once the mints start happening, okay. If it's self-reveal, these things could go bonkers. If it's self-reveal, a tier 4 with a high price packed into it, and the opportunity to gamble for something that is tier 4 and a high price, so you're going to get something of value. I mean, I think we're talking 30 ETH. I actually do think that, and you're going to take this probably kind of hard, and I do think that you might need to pivot some strategy based on this. I think mutants got rendered a bit useless in this strategy. Like, I think it's, if you have a Bored Ape, you need a doggo, and you need a tier pass. There's no, you can't be without it.
Here's the thing, though. Like, my top score so far is like about 75,000, and last night that put me in the top, 2,500, and then people are getting better and posting higher scores, so that pulled back to like outside of 3,000. And I'm using a tier 2 pass. If I would have used a tier 4 pass, I would have scored closer to like 87,000. Okay. So like that 12,000 difference, but like the top scores at the moment are in like the 300,000 to 400,000 range.
Right.
And so either way, like I need to play like 4 times better. Right. So it starts to beg the question too of like the ape coin usage.
But I think you're missing a point here. I think the tier 4s and tier 3s are going to have a different perception on what they can mint regardless of score. I think if you have a tier 4 that's, score X, and you have a tier 3 that's also score X, people are going to go for that tier 4 box score.
Okay, like let me ask you though, and now this is speculation, obviously. So do you think that at the end of the day, when we go to mint during the summoning event, if you have a tier 4 pass that has, 1 million points, and you have a tier 3 pass that has 1 million points, like, do you think that the tier 4 pass is going to mint something more rare than the tier 3 if you take the points out of the equation.
Yeah, I think tier 4 has an edge. Whether that's a deterministic edge is unknown, but I think tier 4 will have an edge. I think points and the modifiers are important. Points are good, but I think like take a scenario of someone that has tier 1 and they grind their way up to the points. Like I think they're going to put themselves in a position to mint something very, very close to what a tier 4 person could mint. I think it's an opportunity for you to come in. If you're a gamer, you come in and buy a tier 1 pass and you grind your way up to the top. You have very good odds, I think, to mint something in the tier 4 range.
Okay, so let me ask this another way. So if you have somebody that has a tier 4 pass and they just play like a couple times and they post like 10,000 points, and then you got like somebody that has like a tier 1 pass and they get in there and they post like a couple 100,000 points and they're like in the top 100. Let's just hypothetically, they're in the top 100. When it comes to this mint, like, don't you think that top 100 score is going to have a better outcome on the mint than that tier 4 pass with less points, or no?
No, I don't think that's deterministic. I think if you have a tier 1 and you're the top points and you have a tier 4 and you're the bottom points, I think you have a equal to somewhat close opportunity to pull the same thing.
Interesting. So I guess like
I think if you're a tier 1 and you're grinding to the top, like you need to strike a deal with somebody. If you can't afford a tier 4, you need to get your hands on a tier 4. You need to be able to loan. Like this is where you like go ask someone for a loan on, NFT-Fi, or you go to Bendao and you try to get someone to pull a loan or something, because you do need a tier 4. I think you're underexposed.
So basically you're saying if you're the caliber of player that is actually going to be able to like compete for those top prizes or whatever mints, that at that point you need to upgrade to the 4. So I think that's like a reasonable take, right? Like if you're, obviously it's a stretch to go from, 3 ETH to 6 ETH just to participate in this game or this next mint. But like, that's the thing. Like we really don't know if it's deterministic based on the score or not. So that's interesting take. And the other thing is like
if I could take a shot at the tech, of what I think they're gonna do.
Okay.
I think that based on the tiers, they're gonna have visual differences. I think it's very easy from a technical standpoint to throw a batch of JPEGs on tier 1, a batch of JPEGs on tier 2, a batch of JPEGs on tier 3, a batch of JPEGs on tier 4. I think visually they're going to be different up the tiers, like an M1, M2 situation. Then I think the components that come with that art is going to vary based on score.
Yeah, I think like if you look at other examples like we referenced, like large field poker tournaments or daily fantasy tournaments, GPPs, where usually what we're talking about is like the top 10, like the final table, they get the lion's share of the prizes, right? And then outside of that, there'll be tiers. So it's probable that we have something like that, right? Like, obviously 1, 2, 3, or top 10, and then top 50.
I actually don't think so. I think that's why they threw out the key as the number 1 prize. I think it's like a grind to the number 1 prize, and then after that, you have a probabilistic chance of getting something good. But I don't think, like, same thing. I guess it's kind of the same concept, right? The people who get to the top table in poker, one person wins, and then people, like, probabilistically, if you're at that table, that whole journey was worth it for you. You made your money, right?
Yes, exactly. And like one person gets the bracelet. If we talk about WSOP, you get the bracelet,
Right.
you get the cash, like all that, but everybody else at the final table makes out handsomely too. So I gotta think like, okay, let's step back to the key. Okay, right now, what do you think's going to be worth more, the key or a Mega Mutant?
Yeah, they're gonna have to trade similar, but if that key has an opportunity to be self-reveal, it changes the whole game, right? So if that key, it's two different answers. If that key is just like, here's your key, here's what's in the box, that's a lot different than here's a key, do you open the box? If you keep that box unopened, that thing trades in levels that I don't know if there's a buyer on ETH that can afford it. To be honest, I think it's a bidless key.
This is I mean, like, I don't know, like a 500 ETH, 1,000 ETH. Like, am I way out of line here?
I
Throwing
shouldn't
those
say
numbers
bidless
out?
key. It's not a bidless key. It's the most bidded on thing, but it's a unpriced item.
Yeah, like,
Let me take you back.
right.
This key is going to be life changing for whoever gets it. It's not the money, it's the access. If you have an M3, you have specific Discord access. There are people who've gotten hired at Yuga because they pulled an M3.
Okay, so let's stay with this WSOP example. If we
Yeah.
rewind to
Yeah.
the poker boom, Chris
Yeah.
Moneymaker wins the WSOP. It
By the
changes
way,
his life.
Is Moneymaker his real last name?
Yeah, Chris Moneymaker. It's his
So
real
what's with
last
these
name.
people that are like destined for this shit? Like Bernie Madoff was destined to make off. Like Sam Bankman-Fried was like destined to fried the Bankmans. Like, and Moneymaker was destined to make money. I've always wondered if that was his actual real name. Go on.
Yes. So Moneymaker, his life changes, but what it does is it breaks the internet, and everybody's like, wait, what? This guy just won how much money? This guy just won this many millions of dollars. And it kicked off the online poker boom. Okay. Yep. And that became televised more, and everybody was into that. And there were spin-off shows and different games, and poker became the biggest that it's ever been because of that life-changing prize. So somebody here, or maybe multiple people here, will have life-changing experiences in the next month.
Yeah.
And when that happens,
I think you're going to see a capitulation of Twitch streamers. You're going to see a capitulation of Twitch streamers that only play mini games for the coin of the metaverse. I think that ApeCoin bag goes up big time. NFA, DYOR. You already know. I'm staked. I'm a believer. It's one of 3 coins I track. One of 3 coins that I track, period, for this use case. It's unfadable. It bottomed at 390. We'll never see it again.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, the actual usage of the
How much money have you spent on the game in 24 hours, honestly?
Honestly, I spent $100. I used 20 ApeCoin. Okay. I used 20 ApeCoin. I played for a few hours. I was like questioning whether it made sense to use the ApeCoin at the level that I'm playing at, but I wanted to really like get a feel for the difference in the scores and difference in the experience. You do get the extra opportunities to collect the artifacts. There's more rare artifacts popping up left and right. I don't know how much like the little like boost reserve being faster comes into play. And then you get that 15% on top. And so I think it goes back to like, where are you scoring at? If you're scoring in the 20,000s, like, why are you going to keep boosting the ApeCoin? But if you're scoring in like the 250,000s, 300,000s, and now you're like, oh man, I could win this thing. Yeah, you got to jam that ape. You got to jam that ape the rest of the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but I don't think that comes down to like a whole bunch of utilization of ape. But what it does do, it ties into the sentiment of what's happening here. And if this thing goes like viral, like it has opportunity to, then I mean, look at what are these other meme coins doing, dude? What's Dogecoin doing? What did those coins do in the past, right? This is the
Yeah.
next coming of potentially like
Yeah.
the big
And it's
bull in 23. We could be
revolutionizing.
wrong.
It's revolutionizing the play to own aspect. It's revolutionizing that you can play and then you can come out the other side and own something specifically in a market that matters, right? Like that's a big deal. Like imagine with the WSOP, imagine that bracelet has a market for that bracelet and there's a whole market of people that trade bracelets, right? um that's what this is the bracelet is a trophy in that case, and then you get the money, and the money's interoperable, it's fungible, you can go spend it on whatever you want, you can go buy your house, you can go do these things. Now you're gaming and you're getting something similar to a bracelet. It's a trophy and it's an asset and it has a market and it can be bought and sold. I want to say something real fast because when I said that Ape is bottomed at 390 and I don't think we'll see it again, people are going to listen to this and they're going to say, well, dude, there's Ape staking. Dude, there's unlocks. Dude, there's supply. Dude, there's this. You're not thinking about all the things when people dump the Ape. Have you ever thought about the fact? Sorry, I'm going to retake that. It's rude to like mock people like that. That's how I feel though. I want to say something real fast because there are people who, when I say I think Ape is bottom of the 390 range and we won't say it again, they're going to bring up all the supply, all the logic around the things that matter when it comes to staking. They're going to start using the word Ponzi. They're going to say everyone's going to exit, everyone's going to dump their Ape, everyone's going to do XYZ with it. I just have a question for those people. Have you ever thought that I have a question for those people. Have you ever thought that Ape staking isn't just for exit liquidity? Have you ever thought that Ape staking is now making people financiers of gamers? Have you ever thought that producing a bag of Ape staking now means that you can put up a bag and sponsor your own esport team? Have you ever thought about that? Because that's where we're going. If this mini games continue and it goes viral like the esports world can and will do, in my opinion, then you have an ApeCoin bag that people are going to need to be able to finance gaming, to be able to make assets that are valuable. I think it's a huge opportunity. And I think if anybody has a bag of ApeCoin that they're staking and they want to capitulate 10,000 ApeCoin for dollars, fine, go for it. I'd much rather drop that ApeCoin bag into a team of gamers and let that Trip Summers Ape be the face of them and let them go play and own and earn and get a part of the camaraderie.
Let's fucking go, bro. I like that take, dude. I like that take. I saw when you were loading up. I saw you're loaded up to play the sewer game, the Dookeydash, all your apes up there. Let's fucking go, bro. As a long-time holder,
I mean, have you thought about it like that though?
no, I didn't get to that point of thinking about it, to be honest with you. I was concerned about the sentiment leading into this. If you think about it, like the floors pulled back a lot before this mint. Mutants were at 20, apes were at 80, dogs were at 11, 12. And now you see that a lot of people are getting more kind of familiar with the fact that these big events are big trading opportunities. And a lot of people were just trading this. They were just trading this and they got out before the claim. And then a lot of people floored passes too, kind of the same reason. They weren't giving enough thought and credibility to the game and what could happen. And then I think in the first 24 hours, we saw sentiment shift. Now, the question is, over the next 3 weeks, will this sentiment continue to build and will this continue to blow up, kind of like where your head's going, like where you're going to, like mini game, sponsorships, gaming, opportunity, branding, content, all of that? Or are people going to get tired of it and maybe like stop spending ApeCoin on it and things could cool down? Or maybe it's natural for that to happen within a 3-week time frame. It's natural for that to happen because the degen brain has a short, limited time span. So maybe there'll be some papering in the middle around week 2. We'll get the dip. And then when people get tuned back in to the summoning, to the next mint, we'll have another run up. And then things can go bananas after that when we find out what this key is really about. And our producer, hazy-b, is making a good call here. He's saying, what if the ecosystem relies on the key being used to open the box? Everybody's relying on this key to move forward on some battle or whatever.
And what if it's another ApeCoin sync? What if the person sets the price on the price they need to open the box in ApeCoin, and the community has to like sync ApeCoin in to unlock the box, and that ApeCoin goes to the person who owns the key, rightfully so. Why not own the key and get paid to open the box?
What a take. Don't give Goodmonth the key, dude. He'll take over this whole freaking universe right now.
Bro, so here's the deal. Here's the deal on this. This is a big deal. The no fade zone just got upped.
Yeah.
The goalposts on the no fade zone just got moved. And one of the big things that I want to call out is usually when Yuga does something, there's haters, and they come out with takes and points, and they find little pockets of resistance. And these pockets of resistance love each other. It's misery loves company. Cope loves cope. How are you going to wrap your cope today?
Well, you're going to wrap it. It's the cope show on the timeline.
It's the cope show. How are you going to wrap it? You're going to wrap it in Yuga hate, because that's what resistance is. And resistance in digital communities has a half-life. It doesn't always work and last. And it also is a barrier to adoption. But aside from the point, what I want to call out right now is I've heard one common take that's negative towards Yuga in this game. And that they say, I don't know, it's pretty simple. Didn't really blow my mind as a game. Well, guess what, MFer? You're taking your concept of the gaming world and you're putting it on this company that isn't even 2 years old and isn't even a gaming company. That's what you're doing. You're putting your lens of the gaming world on this company that tried some shit. And they made their community, mind you, they're not a gaming company yet. They hire gaming people and have built, but they're not a typical gaming company. Now they've tried some shit and they made their community very happy with their first attempt. If you want to fade what they've done because you think that it was underwhelming due to the world that you know outside of what Yuga's actually trying to achieve, you might want to exit now before the cope gets so unbearable. You really might want to exit before the cope gets so unbearable, because these folks have not missed. They've delayed, sure. But as we know, the other person who is trailing that no fade zone, and I believe is in it, is Frank. And Frank has made delays popular.
Yeah, man. And I'm down to fuck around and find out, dude. That's the thing. I think we're in the fuck around and find out zone, dude. They saying it's going to be insane. We're saying it's not a fade. And the reason is because you don't want to be down the line that guy with the coat. I don't want to be that guy. I can't speak for people. I can't project my takes on people. I don't want to be the guy down the line with coat. I want to fuck around and find out.
Do you want to know? Can I break down something for you right now? Like, this is a weird take, but this is where my mind's at right now. There's two cope bets right now that I don't want to miss out on. It's weird. This is a weird take. My first one is I don't want to miss out on the next Bored Ape Yacht Club activation. And they've already said activations are coming. I don't want to have my pants down and miss out on that activation. The other one, this is weird, but the Tesla Roadster is a $50K reservation fee, likely limited supply, likely $250,000, and likely will trade at a 5x value from that $250,000 thing. My trade-off right now in life is, do I miss out on that Roadster 3-op, or do I miss out on a Bored Ape Yacht Club brand activation? Oh, that's my trade-off in life.
Well, right now. I think you're in a spot where you could probably flip an ape for a Roadster, but, or a couple of them. But, look, man, I put in my Cybertruck order 2-3 years ago, bro. There's no word about that Cybertruck. I haven't received an email about any Cybertruck.
Thank you for saying that, because my point is you have to go for the one that's most reliable. I'm actually saying Yuga's more reliable than Elon.
This guy's takes are fucking crazy. I love it, dude. So I just look, we're not going to get off of this podcast today with another little victory.
Bro, but do you honestly just think about that for a quick minute? You think about that quick minute, like we just debunked Elon for Yuga, right? Like that. Send it to the moon.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're right. Elon delays more. Tesla delays more than Yuga. You know what I'm saying? They said year 2 insane. It's January 20th. It's January 20th. This is insane. This absolutely is insane. And I'm here for it, man. So, and I feel like Elon is down bad right now. Like he lost a lot of money. He overpaid for Twitter.
Hey, FaXx, I just got to ask real quick. We're talking about Yuga. We're talking about delays. We're talking about Frank. I got a quick question for you. You got one bet to place. Are you betting on Yuga or are you betting on Elon?
I think it's like pretty clear, man. You know, it's pretty clear. I've been betting on Yuga. What do you mean? What am I going to do? Run a Tesla into the ground, go charge at the station, and do what? Play a Dookeydash on my phone? I mean, you could get a little bit of both, right? But if you're saying you got to choose one, I feel like what's the potential here? And let's talk about the macros for a little bit. We had this crazy rally. We had Solana run up from $8 to the mid 20s. It's kind of pulled back to the low 20s. ETH obviously up in the 1500 range. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, in my opinion, for these things to go up or down too much. There's still recession fears in play. There's still the stock market is going to trade very like schizophrenic, choppy, up and down. And obviously, like long term, you know, we'd like to see crypto really take off. I'm not sure this is the right environment for that quite yet, but potentially Q1, Q2, not financial advice. If things go sideways for a while and we get that choppy trade action in the markets and things go sideways, that could set up really well for NFTs. And that could set up really well for the timeline of what's being rolled out here for 1, Yuga, and for 2, DGods, which we should do like another quick kind of like take back on that. We were really, you know, calling out the no fade zone on DGods at 4.5, 5 ETH. They're up to all-time high 8 ETH. Utes are still kind of trailing back. We saw the big pop. We're going to talk more about DGods and what happened with the 69 DGod sweep and the bull run that followed. Where do you think Utes are at right now? Because they're just kind of sitting.
Yeah, Utes are bullish on community. Specifically, their community is tough, it's hard, and they're bit by art. Wait till DGods gets new art. The Utes are going to be motivated to climb up the ladder. They're going to get their W on DGods. It's going to push the distribution of DGods up. The DGods that have been holding since day one on, frankly, not great art, frankly, not great art. They're going to capitulate that. They're going to move up the chain. They're going to get in the Yuga asset. You're going to see this ladder that goes Utes, DGod, Yuga, boom, hit it.
Yeah, I think right now Utes, the theory that I had was that they would continue to be kind of like pulled up by DGods. We're seeing that DGods run to new all-time highs to 8 ETH. Utes are still kind of sitting right around that like 1.7, 1.8 ETH floor. And I do think this is the lowest that they've been relative to DGods yet. So I'm hoping for like maybe with a little bit more information, a pop there. We'll see. We're going to talk a lot more about this. We're going to talk about the sentiment about Polygon. But in the meantime, let's get on that Dookeydash, son. Never fade.
Let's do it. Never fade. Next episode, all Polygon, all DGods, all layer 2, all brands, NFTs. Let's get it. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. RP got that hot beat. Bridge built to the swamp. Now the apes all barking. Picking up bananas like you ever heard a cat laughing. They on time sweeping. What's left? Got a red of these, call it out of weight. Headed down from the treehouse with a Floyd.